They were once allies, Israel and Iran. In the 1960s and 70s, while Arab nations turned against Israel, Iran stood apart. The Shah of Iran recognized Israel, sold it oil, and collaborated on weapons development. The two exchanged military intelligence and even worked together on nuclear technology. Few today realize that Israel once helped Iran build its first nuclear reactor, the Tehran Research Reactor, in 1967 with American support. But this uneasy partnership hid under the surface, and it would not last. 1979, a revolution explodes. The Shah is overthrown. Ayatollah Khomeini returns from exile, bringing with him a vision that condemned both the West and Israel. Within days, Iran's new government broke ties with Israel. The Israeli embassy was shut down and handed over to the PLO, from ally to sworn enemy. Khomeini called Israel the Little Satan, America the Great Satan. This wasn't just politics, it was ideology, a holy war of belief against existence. But this war wasn't fought directly, it grew in the shadows. Iran funded and trained Hezbollah, a Shia militia in Lebanon that now boasts over 150,000 rockets aimed at Israel. In Gaza, Iran backed Hamas and Islamic Jihad, supplying weapons, intelligence, and funds. Between 2006 and 2023, Israel fought multiple wars in Lebanon and Gaza, but each one was, indirectly, a clash with Tehran. Israel called it the campaign between the wars, precision airstrikes, cyberattacks, intelligence operations across Syria, Iraq, and Yemen. The battlefield was everywhere and nowhere. Then came the bomb, or the fear of one. In the early 2000s, evidence emerged that Iran had secret uranium enrichment facilities in Natanz and Fordow, sites hidden from the International Atomic Energy Agency. Israel sounded the alarm. Iran was seeking a nuclear weapon. Covert operations began. In 2010, a cyber weapon called Stuxnet, built by the US and Israel, crippled Iran's centrifuges. Between 2010 and 2022, at least 5 Iranian nuclear scientists were assassinated, most believed to be by Israeli Mossad. In 2018, Mossad agents broke into a warehouse in Tehran and stole a massive archive of Iran's nuclear documents, proving beyond doubt that Iran had conducted weaponization research. The world watched and watched, but did little. In April 2024, it changed. For the first time in decades, Iran directly launched hundreds of drones and missiles at Israel in response to an Israeli strike that killed senior Iranian commanders in Syria. Israel retaliated. Damascus was bombed. Iranian bases in Iraq and Syria were reduced to rubble. The shadow war was no longer silent. Thousands of civilians fled. Communications blacked out. For a moment, it looked like the Middle East might ignite. And yet, no one declared war. The United Nations held emergency meetings. The US called for restraint. The European Union condemned the violence. But the war, if it can be called that, continued. No peace deal, no ceasefire. Just more missiles, more drones, more silence. This war is not about borders, it's about belief. Iran's leadership sees Israel as a cancer planted in the Muslim world. Israel sees Iran as an existential threat, a nation calling for its destruction while building the means to do it. The conflict is theological, ideological, generational, and that's why it never ends, because it was never really declared, and so it cannot be resolved in any treaty. Wars leave bodies, but shadow wars leave ghosts. This isn't just a conflict between two nations, it is a mirror showing the world what happens when ideology consumes diplomacy, and truth is buried beneath silence. You've seen what was hidden, and now you must ask, what else have they buried? Watch more forbidden histories, only on the silent libraries